Hi there, my name is Mark. Welcome to Code and Cut. Today we're going to containerize your Sveltekit app. Let's get started with building out a basic project from the Sveltekit scaffolding. All right, the first thing we have to do is change the adapter. The auto adapter won't work for running a node container, so we need to install from npm the adapter for node. So we're going to add that to our dev dependencies. Now let's switch the adapter in the Sveltekit config file from auto to node, and we're going to build our project. All right, there's our project. Now let's add a Docker file so we can do the same thing in an image. We're going to start with a base image, the Node Alpine image. First thing we're going to do is set our working directory, and then we're going to copy over the project. So that's everything in the subfolder, and it's going to be copied over into the working directory that we set in our image. Now we've got to install all of the dev dependencies in order to build the app. So this includes Sveltekit, TypeScript, Vite, everything else needed to build that build subfolder. The next thing we have to do is expose the port for Node that's going to be hosting our app on, and we have to provide an entry point for the container. So we're going to say Node, and the entry point is the build index.js, which we can explore in the left and see that's the entry point we want the Node server to start on. To make life a little bit easier, let's just add a yarn setup script. We'll just call it image so that we can quickly build our container, or build our image rather. All right, so let's build our image. There we go. Now we're going to run our container. We have to pass the port to the host. If you don't do this, you won't get anything. Exposing the port is only the configuration for the internal network. If you want to pass it to the host, we have to specify that we're passing 3000 out to the host. And there we go. There's our app. All right, but one thing we want to take a look at is we can make the image a little bit smaller. If we go look at the size of the image, we see it's about 700 megs. We can make it a little bit smaller because within a single stage build, everything got copied over. So that would be the source code, that would be the dev dependencies, so everything needed to build the project, including Vite, Sveltekit, TypeScript. We don't need all that stuff because once we build the subfolder, that's all we needed. So we're going to create a second stage. Here we've copied over just the built subfolder into the project. There we go. So that's going to copy over the build subfolder from the first stage into the second stage, which is going to omit all of those dev dependencies. So our build should get smaller based on that. Now we're going to run, we have to copy over the package.json, and we have to run npm install or yarn install for the runtime dependencies. So if your app has other runtime dependencies, those will be needed. So we're going to run yarn install for just that. All right. So the last thing we got to do is copy over any static assets. We're going to show you, let's say, database migration scripts, static assets, CSS, images, whatever. Those are not contained in the build subfolder made by Vite for your Sveltekit app. And so what we're going to do is have a little demo here just showing we've got another subfolder in addition to our static assets. And let's say those are Prisma migration scripts or something like that that you built. We have to copy those over into the project. So now we're going to copy over the subdirectory from the project into the final image in the prod build, because in line 4 we see in our one-stage build, we copied over everything. It was already there. But since we're trying to remove the dev dependencies with the two-stage build, we have to copy over any other assets that are outside the build project. So that's what we're doing here. Okay, so now we've got a two-stage build, and we're going to make that image and then run the container. Okay, let's check it out. There we go. All right, our app's done. It's running. Let's see if we made it any smaller. So we're going to go back to here and see, yeah, we took off quite a bit. So now we're down to 615 megs. And that's it. Thank you very much. And let me know if you have any questions.